Right, we are live. Will, how's it going, man?
What's up? How are you doing? You can hear me, right?
I can hear you
Okay.
just fine. And I got it. It came through. I got the warning. X is out. X is X'd. For the moment, it's out.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
So here's my disappointment though, is views coming from X is definitely been the highest. Engagement has been the lowest. Like I've even gotten engagement on LinkedIn before, of all places, but I've never had anybody engage on X. So
Yeah, LinkedIn is I got a lot of engagement there. More so than I would expect, but I think it was more of a how many people live stream to LinkedIn.
true.
It's
I
easier
feel
to
like
stand
this
out.
yeah, I agree with you there.
I realized I had to add you. I had to add you, and so that other people can see that I'm not talking to myself.
Hey, oh, that's right, because I can't see.
All right, I think.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
I think so now.
I'm not monitoring. You know what? I should let me open up my live stream just so that I can monitor you. I can pretend that I know what I'm doing.
We know what we're doing. We've been doing this long enough.
Yeah, that's supreme confidence. You just start streaming and you don't even check to make sure it's working.
Don't even make sure the audio's working. Just give her.
All right,
yeah.
yeah, it's okay. All right, cool.
We're good.
Your background. I know you normally have a background. You forgot to turn it on.
No, man.
Oh,
I
you're
feel
going
like
background?
I'm going like background. I actually really like the green contrast itself. Like I feel like I want to just embrace it. Although I did this with somebody and they were like, get a steamer, man. Get a steamer. But that's a future Andrew problem.
I mean, a steamer is useful for more than just for.
It is.
So yeah. Is
I
that
need to,
what
buy
kind of
a steamer.
material is that? Is that paper?
What is it? No. This is like a polyester. So I bought this. So it's an actual like green screen. And I got it on Amazon and it actually stretches like I have the middle bar out, and so it actually is a pretty huge green screen. And I can't remember why I picked it up. And I was doing something that I felt like I needed to be slightly more professional for. And now it's just great because it covers up the lack of organization on the shelving units behind me in this office.
Well, here's a pro tip you didn't ask for.
Pro tip, all right, give it to me.
Use paper.
Lay it on me.
Use paper.
I need a lot of paper to do that.
No, like to go to like the art supply, they have it in like the roll, like a 9-foot roll kind of thing, and you just roll maybe like 60, 72 or I forget, you're in 2 meters, something like that.
So we do feet. Canada's weird.
Wait,
So here's the weird,
God.
right? So I know my height. I'm 5'10". I don't know how many centimeters I am, but it asked me.
I can't tell you. I don't know what it is.
But yeah, this is the weird thing. So I was just in Berlin, and we were having this conversation with folks from Europe, and we were and from England, and I was like, listen, Canadians are like, they've taken like the best or worst parts of all of the countries that have been connected to them. So like we take like feet and inches from certain places, we take like kilometers and miles, like food stuff, like just everything. We're like a melting pot of a country. Nothing that we do makes sense, and none of it's unique.
To be fair, you picked the correct units. Freedom units are the best. All those other countries, they're wrong. It takes a lot of confidence to sit here and say, you know what, the rest of you are all wrong. So
It does.
you picked the right units of measure. You know?
There you go.
Some
I
of
like
them.
it. I'll take it. Some of them.
Yeah,
some of them. Yeah. But it's interesting. Like I have no idea. Nor do I want to know what everybody actually uses. The only time that I ever really care about measurements is like when I'm in a situation where I've got to fill out some sort of a governmental document, like I'm filling out a passport application or like a visa application, and they ask in like their specific ways, like how many pounds are you versus how many kilograms are you versus how many millimeters are you? I don't want to answer that question.
You just make it up.
Just make it up.
That's what
I'm
I've done.
250 millimeters.
It's like you figure it out. I don't know.
I did it. I have it. I think actually on all my government documents, I think it all says centimeters. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm 180 centimeters and 73 kilograms, and yet I don't measure myself in kilograms. Like if I went on a scale, I would be like I'm like 190, and I would be like I'm 5'10". So I don't understand.
Yeah, I measure myself in what, in pounds.
Yeah,
But at the
exactly.
same time, I also just happen to know kilograms because when I used to do weightlifting, all of the measures were in kilograms. The place like for Olympic lifts.
Yeah.
So I know it from that, and I just know it in my head intuitively. It's 2.2. So it's just like multiply by 2 and add 20% of that,
Well, that's not
which
bad.
is just 10% twice.
Yeah, exchange rate. It's funny you're talking about that, and it has me thinking about like exchange rate stuff too, like trying to figure out when you're in a foreign country, like how much money you have actually spent. We went out for dinner at like a fancy Indian restaurant while we were in Berlin with a number of other folks that were at the conference, and I got the final bill and I was paying for myself and another colleague, and I got the bill and I was like, oh, this is great. This is like totally within our per diem. And then I got it back in Canadian, and Canadian was way higher than I thought it was. But then I was like, oh, but that's right, our per diem is in American. So it's like
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm paying in Canadian against the euro, but the per diem is in US.
Well, the dollar is stronger, I think, right now. So
The dollar is
it
stronger.
should work in your benefit.
It was definitely in my benefit. So
Yeah, I also have suffered from I wonder how much I've actually spent. And most of the times I don't find out until after the trip.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent that for that. And
Yeah.
it's a fun story, you know.
My worst story there was I went to Scotland for my honeymoon, and the MacLean clan has a castle there, and they
Wait, hold
had
on.
like
The who?
so my last
Are you a
name,
clan?
MacLean.
Is that's
Yeah, so I'm a MacLean. So the MacLean clan.
Okay,
So like
all right.
my family has this like family seat castle in Scotland. Not my family personally, but like the
But
royal
we'll
MacLeans.
go with you. So you have a castle?
I have a cast. Thank
Okay.
you. I'm like 1 millionth in line to the title. Anyways, but they have this castle there, and the only thing I really wanted to do in Scotland was I wanted to go to this castle. And then I got there and I went into the gift shop, and there was all the gift shoppy things. But then I discovered they had been renovating the castle. There had been some issues there, and to celebrate like 100 years since the renovation of it, they had commissioned a special bottle of scotch specifically for this, and they had it distilled on like the island, and I think the bottles were like 275 euros.
I think that's a
Which
lot in American dollars.
it's a lot in American, and it's way more in Canadian. It was like 2 to 1 for British pound to Canadian dollar at that time. And I was getting one for my dad too. So, because he was like, give me a bottle of scotch while you're there. And so
They didn't even give you a family discount.
they didn't give me the family
That's
discount.
man,
They're
that's
not
messed
gonna-
up. That's
I
messed
know.
up. You at least get 5% for being family.
I should hope so. Of course, everybody is family that goes there.
Well, did you at least
Everybody.
write off the taxes? Because I think that when you go to the airport, if you're not staying there, you can, like, whatever purchases you made in the country, you can reclaim your tax dollars back.
So this is it. No, I didn't. And I actually discovered this when I was walking through the Berlin airport, and I saw that there was this like it was literally like a window at the airport that was all about like getting your taxes back. So no, I also contributed to the.
Wait, you didn't know that? Oh man, yeah. So
I didn't know that.
yes, I make sure. I make sure. I'm like, I've contributed to the economy enough with like tips, overpaying for everything. I'm like, I'm not paying into your taxes. There was once that I couldn't do it, and it was my mistake. I think I had 2 days to go and do the thing, like to go and like get it stamped. And because I'm just that person, I didn't go and get it stamped. I was like, oh, I'll do it later. And then when I went to go do it, it was too late. So I missed out on like, I think I paid in 200 and some dollars into Taiwan in taxes.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Seriously?
yeah.
Just can't get that back, man.
Yeah, I was like, man, like it would have represented a discount had I not paid the tax.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, I ended up paying the tax, so it ended up being the same as me buying the thing here.
Well, you had the opportunity. It was there. It was not meant to be. You were meant to pay full price.
You know, how do you feel about losing the opportunity over just losing something concrete like $1 or $2? Because for me, losing the opportunity hurts more.
It does. I would agree with you that. I would agree with you.
This has been over a year ago, and I still remember this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'd rather lose the money. It's like I can handle that. I can accept that I have lost.
Yeah, it's
money,
the what if, like I can't deal with it. So yeah, now whenever I travel, I need to just, I got to be on top of it. Make sure I do that stuff immediately, because not every country's the same. Like most, I'm not gonna say developed, but like my favorite country, you can just have all your receipts, and then when you go to the airport, you just hand them all the receipts. You don't have to like go get it stamped at all these different places. It's just it's automatically done. But with this one, you had to manually go up. It was on like the 4th floor, and it was in the mall, which was adjacent to my hotel, but it was still like a 15-minute walk. And it was too many snacks to pass up. There were so many snacks, and so I never made it past the 2nd floor.
I love that. You know what though? The opportunity disappeared because of snacks. I feel like I feel like you justified it a little bit more. I can understand, especially in like a lot of these countries have far more interesting snacks than we have as well.
Yeah, well, also at least in Taiwan, they're less sugary, which means that I can actually eat them and more of them. Whereas here, everything is extra sweet, too sweet.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, we have a from Casual Economist. Oh,
yeah,
hey,
what's up, Casual Economist.
How you doing?
I love Casual Economist.
So I don't know if did I get a noise? I thought normally I get a noise. Did you hear a noise?
No, I didn't hear anything. Oh shit! But I actually see chat comments though. You put it up. No,
yeah. Oh, okay, I see. I was gonna say, like, is it piping comments through too? For what it's worth to everyone, this is kind of a new setup. We're using Zoom and Ecamm together, and in the past, and StreamYard. In the past, we had more than just these things going on. It was a little much. So now it seems to be much easier, and yeah, I like it so far. Anyway, all right.
Same.
What are we up to? What are we up to?
What are we up to? We're talking. Yeah, I mean, if you're just coming in, we're having conversations about things that we've done on trips that we regret, but only financial things.
And it's fun. It's paying tax for me.
Paying tax.
I paid the taxes.
That's wild. Yeah, I actually didn't. I didn't realize that was a thing you could do. That said, I don't even know if I would have been able to figure out how much tax and everything else.
It should be on your receipt, like whatever the VAT and all that other crap is. Like you just take that and they give it back to you.
Damn. Anyway, on a separate note, so I find it so fascinating. Duty always fascinates me though. So you'll save that tax just to pay it on duty once you return to wherever you're going.
That's only on certain items that you declare. I'll leave it at that.
I got that. So what did I declare when I was coming back? Like you declare the food stuff, and I'd picked up some food stuff, and then they were like, "Do you have anything else to declare?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got like these little souvenirs," and they were like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." But it was really cool. They're little. So all the souvenir shops in Berlin sell little bits of the Berlin Wall. Now whether it's actually of the Berlin Wall or of a wall in Berlin,
I think you know that it's probably not. It's like the gift card or the gift shops that have actual dinosaur bones from some site. All right,
but you know what though? I got these. They were like $15. I'm like, it's a memento that I will remember, even if it's fake. I'm gonna remember it. But it's funny because I went to one shop and they sold it, and I was like, is this legit? And they're like, yeah, we have a certificate of authenticity, which is just like a mass produced like piece of paper that says this is real. And then I picked up another one from one of the gift shops that looks identical. Everything about it is the same and no certificate of authenticity. So I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. I'll remember my trip. I bought this in Berlin next to the Berlin Wall. So for me, it will forever be a piece of the Berlin Wall.
The thing that I remember about Berlin was I forgot the name of the restaurant because first of all, I couldn't pronounce it, and it's hard for me to remember things I can't pronounce, but it was some chicken restaurant or a Georgian restaurant. I'm sorry, a Georgian restaurant,
Okay.
and I got a chicken dish that changed me. Because up
Really?
until that point, I think I was there for like a week and a half. Up until that point, all the food that I had was low key trash. I'm sorry if you're into it. I wasn't. I even did the doner kebab. I was like, yeah, even that is not really. But this place, it changed me because I was like, wait, flavors? Like there was acidity, there was saltiness, there was a little bit of like a little bit of spice savoriness. I don't know what it was, but it was phenomenal, and I didn't get the opportunity to go back. And I went to some of these like high rated Michelin restaurants too. I'm just like I wasn't impressed, but I'm generally not really impressed when I go to a Michelin rated restaurant.
Yeah, that's fair. The only Michelin restaurant that I've ever been to, there's one in Toronto, and it's a one Michelin star Thai place, and it's like in like this, like residential
Well, that
community.
sounds like it could be good. Is Thai? Is it
It's
good?
super good. It's amazing, and it's not like Michelin star prices. It's like regular everyday Joe prices. So I got like a pad Thai from a Michelin star place for like 20 bucks Canadian. And it's like the best pad thai. It's not, sorry, I shouldn't say it was the best pad thai I've ever had in my life, but like it was up there. It was a very good pad thai, and I was just like, this cost me $20, and this
Is
is a Michelin
20?
star
Is that a
place.
lot or a little?
No, so I think like I would normally pay like 20 bucks for a pad thai if I
Okay.
got it through like Uber Eats. So it's like
Okay.
pretty standard price for what I would normally pay.
Okay. And that's 2024 price, right? Not
Yeah,
pre.
so, like 2023,
Okay.
so
All right.
similar, yeah.
I had to ask because things are a little bit more than
They are
just a little bit.
just slightly,
Yeah.
just slightly. Yeah. But speaking of things getting more expensive, how much do you think that the CrowdStrike outage is gonna end up costing globally after all of this is settled?
Well, it depends on if they're counting their missed sales and all that kind of stuff. If they're not, then whatever the labor cost is, which labor hasn't really gone up that much higher in the past 5 years or the past decade or two. So,
Uh,
mm,
did you see the meme about Southwest Airlines and Windows 3.1?
I know that they are on 3.1, and I think they weren't down, but they seem to be down now because I was trying to buy a flight earlier today on the app. It won't get past the splash screen.
Really?
Yeah, here, I'll try it now. Let's see.
See, this says that they so I'm sharing it on my screen. I don't know if I'm sharing it. Do I have to share my screen on yours for it to be seen on yours?
No, what I can do is go to the browser and just share my screen. So give me
Oh,
a
I can just
second.
do this.
All right. So yeah, so it's on mine now.
Oh, okay, so I can unshare. I'll unshare here.
Oh wait, where were you sharing to?
I was sharing on Zoom.
Oh well, yeah. Try that. Let's try that. Let me put this
Yeah.
back before I accidentally close it again,
All right.
because that happens
So there we go.
often.
Now I'm sharing on Zoom.
Okay, so I have to. Okay, give me a second. All right, so then maybe we'll put this for. Oh.
So I love that all of the articles that are talking about Windows 3.1 are like they're like from non-reliable resources like Hacker News. Obviously false information.
All right, I'm still trying to figure out how to add you.
Oh, in with like the video share within.
Yeah, because it like there's a window that I can get, but for whatever reason, it doesn't show in the stream, even though I can see your stuff. Yeah, maybe screen sharing inside of Zoom. Don't use it for now. at least for live if you want to be seen.
No, it's fine. It's off. I mean, you can throw my stuff back up. I'm literally just looking through news articles about this Windows 3.1. Apparently, it's fake.
Well, I mean, there's
Apparently, it's fake.
A lot
fake
of that going
news.
on these days.
Fake news, just a little bit. Yeah, I think it's going to be expensive. I did enough, and I do actually want to investigate this as well. There was another piece of information that I'm interested if it's true or fake, that the CEO of CrowdStrike was also CEO of another company that had a massive meltdown of McAfee when there was that big thing. So
yeah, I think I want to say that's the case.
That's
but that's easily verified.
It is. LinkedIn will verify. What's the name? CrowdStrike CEO? I'm gonna look this up now.
Yeah, I have no idea what his name is.
CrowdStrike CEO. CrowdStrike CEO. Come on. All these CEOs look the same. Generic CEO. George Kurtz McAfee.
It would have been really fun if his name was if he was part of your clan.
If it was another McLean.
Yeah, cause I heard Mac. I was like, oh yeah, McAfee.
We are everywhere. Yeah, he was 2010 CTO McAfee. In a security incident from the antivirus firm crushed tens of thousands. Yeah, tens of thousands is like a minor meltdown compared to what just happened. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you know, these are going to happen more and more because we're more interconnected than we've ever been before. And I don't know, it's interesting that I've been in the industry long enough and I came in at just the right point to know that we were moving away from shared machines, in the 60s, 70s kind of thing, into personal computers where everybody wanted to have their own thing. And then we went back to shared machines.
Yeah, cloud.
But now,
absolutely.
And it's called cloud now, but I'm just like, how is it? I don't know. It's just interesting how we took a little icon from a book and we're like, oh, we're just gonna call it that. And now we're experiencing these issues, and I think we're only going to continue to experience it because I think now there's a whole crop of engineers who only know cloud.
You can make your entire career just being a DevOps engineer and just focusing on the build process. Never really get into the code.
The deployment stuff is also important. It's got to run somewhere, and getting it onto all these different machines is its own discipline. They use programming too, maybe not in the same way that engineer would, but in a lot of the ways they're the same. It's more systems type stuff,
But yes, you are right. They've never lived in a world without this being cloud computing. It's always been that for them.
Yeah, some of them. Now, there are others who, they can still do all of the stuff in Linux themselves and do their own containerization. They understand how to do virtualization within Linux. It's because that's what it is. That's what it is, right? It's all all these cloud things. It's just they call it a fabric, which is just a bunch of functions, a library that allows you to abstract a lot of the fundamental tasks you do on a machine into these fabrics, if you want to call them that. Give you some nice API endpoints that make it where you can actually deploy stuff and have things on different machines. And I don't know. I think it's kind of cool from a nerd, I'm just going to do it because I can kind of thing.
That seems to be, I had a conversation with someone not too long ago about Kubernetes, and I said, what do you use Kubernetes for? What is the actual fundamental purpose? And they were just like, I like to use Kubernetes just to learn how Kubernetes works. And I was like, but what problem does it solve? What real tangible thing do you need Kubernetes for? And they couldn't really answer. They're just like, well, it's good for scaling things and all the rest of this. And I was like, yeah, but what fundamental core problem does it actually solve?
You have to manage your containers because you have all these different services. How do you stand all those up?
I know. I feel like this is why people are intimidated to get into the tech industry. I feel like it's things like Kubernetes that make this industry seem so inaccessible to people. I love that I came up, I know you came up in the same time where like being a web developer was like writing some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the same file, and then using an FTP server to like just upload, right? And that was it. It was like, if you could do those things, and was it insecure? Yes. But like the hardest thing you needed to do was get the right username and password for downloading FileZilla, and then like figure out how to navigate your web host.
I think that's the OG webmaster. The person, because that's where I came in.
Yeah.
I had an internship where they were a web design firm. They do all that stuff, and I never really was into all that. But I could build networks, and I could administer like machines on networks and all that kind of stuff. So I came in and I just would do that kind of stuff. I would set up all of our hosts and manage the FTP server, and it was a secure one, as well as had other ways of basically getting their code into the right folders, because it's a website. It's weird. Just getting it all into the right folders and making sure that the right users could access the right stuff, that kind of thing. What I'm going to call OG, like DevOps.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think
I could do simple shit. That's what I did.
And I don't know. I just dig this. This is also why I'm attracted so much to like services. Maybe this is why I'm attracted to like abstraction. It's like I realized that a lot of this stuff was like abstractions away from actually doing these things. But I don't know. Even with web hosting stuff, I'm like, I still use shared hosting for like my personal projects, just because like I don't need to pay X amount of money or spend X number of hours trying to set up my own like environment to make sure that it's secure.
Well, yeah, you don't. And I would argue that you shouldn't. You should only separate stuff out or add a layer of abstraction when you come to some problem that prevents you from doing something. Then you add it at that point.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do it on one machine, hell, that's,
yeah, man.
Go you.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm looking for like, I want some of my projects, I want to move to like a virtual private server. I like Railway and Heroku and all those things are out there, but they limit you so much. Like you can't see everything that you want to be able to see. But finding a good, reasonably cost managed VPS that like they do the setup stuff for you, but you get full control and you're getting it is hard to find. Like it's not an easy process.
Wait, you say where you get full control, or wait, what do you mean?
So yeah, okay. So look at like shared hosting, right? Mm-hmm. So shared hosting, you're part of a large number of people on the same server, and they're giving you access to your little bit of this mm-hmm. Linux environment. But the downside is if a million sites are running on there, you lose access to all those extra resources. So then the alternative used to be, or historically has been, then you get a VPS, right? Where it's just like, here's the keys to the castle, set it up, and you're on your own. Mm-hmm. And if you screw it up, then you're going to be the one that pays for it. But there is something out there that's called like a managed VPS. So they do all of the security, the basic setup of the infrastructure for you. But you get like shell access, you get like all of the additional stuff you would get. Basically, it's a shared hosting model, but with access to all the resources on the server. So it's like, here's cPanel to go and do some of these simple tasks that you don't want to have to go and like install a tarball to make work, which I think is powerful. I think it's a powerful step.
There's something called, first a product maybe is DigitalOcean. Their stuff is easier to use.
It is. Yeah. And they're like DigitalOcean's. So if you're watching this, by the way, cause we're just kind of, shooting the shit. DigitalOcean is awesome. And DigitalOcean, app platform is particularly awesome. Have you used this, Will?
I did for a bit. I migrated from having a VPS, but the cost of running the app thing, it was too much. It was like it's $30 per app, right?
Yeah, depending on where you get, and it like scales. The upside is like most platforms you can go and you can find like a 6-month $400 key or something. But yeah, DigitalOcean is good. And they've got a lot of different models here. And then the other one that I use that I really love, and I just need to spend more time with it, is Railway. Have you used Railway?
Mm-mm.
So this is probably the best hosting system that I've ever used in my life. It's so clean. The DX is just spectacular. And it's like you can deploy direct from a GitHub repo in like one click. It's super smooth, fairly affordable. It's not like it's free to start, but like across the board, it's like, I don't know. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And I don't have anything on there now. But yeah, so like literally you can go in here, spin up like a MySQL instance. It'll do it super quick. It'll give you all of this stuff. You can even actually go in and I think you can view the data in here as well. Maybe not. Maybe that's, oh yeah, there it is. So like you can actually go in and edit data like you would with like PHP MyAdmin or whatever, like create tables from a GUI. Like it's so smooth. And then you go in here. This
looks like you can connect. So if you had other things, that's what it.
Yeah. So like I can go in here now, and so let's say now I want like a Redis instance as like my cache layer. So now my Redis and MySQL are all running in the same place. It'll do this. And now I want to spin up from like a template. So I want to spin up like, I don't know, like any like a Laravel project, Directus, like a Ghost instance, and it's literally like a single click. Or you can do directly from your GitHub repo, and it's just so clean. It's such a clean UI. It's such a clean process. The like observability stuff, logs, like it's amazing. And I don't know if it's still this way, but do you remember like those Heroku, I can't remember what the name of the file was, but you used to be able to create these like files you would put in a GitHub repo that would allow for like it to spin up a Heroku, like all of the services that you needed within that project?
I've never used Heroku.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, in fact, the only thing that I've used on that side of the world is Azure, but this was in its beginning stages when it had just came out, shortly after AWS had been doing their thing. So all of like where my knowledge ends is a VPS and some of I think the Azure Cloud Compute stuff. I don't even know what they're called, but it was a way where you could basically not have to have your own server. Like you could just call out to certain things. That was, I don't know, gosh, that was in 2012 maybe when I did that.
Interesting.
A long time ago.
Yeah. But I love this one too. So that's
very really cool. It's like,
it's very smooth, but also
how much does it cost though?
So it's not bad. It is it's all usage-based pricing. Railway app. And it's shifted. So like $5 a month for the hobby, which will give you like 8 gigs of RAM, unlimited projects, a little bit of log history in like a single region, and then it's like $20 per month per seat when you jump up. But like the actual, like you basically go like 8 gigs of RAM for like almost anything is going to get you by. Like 32 gigs per like is insane to me. And with all of this, like, yeah, you get the GitHub CLI deploys, you get secrets, persistent storage. So like Heroku was bad because it wouldn't persist the storage. So you need to use a third party. So here you can use it. You can do all of this stuff just like within a single, like a YAML file, logs, like rollbacks. You can set up multiple environments as well. So like within your project, you can actually go in here and I can be like, oh, I want like a staging version of this, and then it will just keep track of all of the changes and all the rest of that. Like I really cannot say enough positive things about this.
Yeah, that right there is the fact that you created the staging, is pretty cool. Does it duplicate what you have on the other one?
It does, yeah.
Okay,
and then
yeah,
it keeps
that.
track.
So yeah, that's. I mean, I guess it is just a file, but even then, having to manage that yourself, especially for me,
Yeah.
because I had an auth provider, but I wanted it to handle things a little bit differently if it were coming from like an internal production thing from a certain domain.
Yeah.
It's like, basically, yes, we're going through auth, but I also want the ability to turn off auth so that I can make sure other things are working and I can turn it back on. And
Yeah.
I can only do that on. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to manage that myself, which was a pain because you have the issue of you have all these different services or platforms that you're working with, and you're trying to integrate them together, but they all can't really just communicate. So there's always this plumbing that you have to do, which is tedious and error prone.
Yeah. So anyways, I love this. I wonder if I think this is live right now. So like if I go into production, I don't know why. Oh, no, I think these are leftover. Why is this failing? Failed to build an image.
By the way, I've come up with a solution to my my devlog series problem.
Oh, yeah? Okay,
Yes.
what's the solution?
I'm running it all locally.
Hey,
That's the solution.
that makes sense.
I no longer have to worry about bandwidth costs.
There you
I
go.
no longer have to worry about like latency or having different things communicate because I can't really afford to send gigabytes of video stuff or even have it process it. So I was like, you know what? I have this Mac Studio here. I'm going to use this. And then in the future, hopefully when Apple comes out with an M4, this Mac Studio will migrate over there to my, whatever that is, the TV center. And I'll just put it in there and it'll be a headless server. I can
There you
connect to
go.
it. Yeah.
Nice. I do actually like that. I think that's
Yes.
smart.
Yeah, it's cheaper and
Yes.
I've already spent the money. And if need be, I figured out a way how I can tunnel. So even though I have a private network here, I can create a tunnel and expose it on the public internet so I can access that server that way. So if I'm not here, I can still do stuff or connect to it. Of course, that means I have to harden it a little bit, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's part of the process, and it's still cheaper and more. And at least you'll learn something through the process, right?
I don't know.
I mean, stuff you might already know.
I'll just learn how much Apple has probably removed, like how much they've nerfed the system. In the past, you used to be able to do a little bit more than you can do now.
Fair. True. All right. Speaking of Apple, I'm curious. Have you gotten rid of your phone? Did you decide to finally just call it?
No, I just don't use it as much. I use it for three things: to take videos of my things, and then to respond to Slack messages. And sometimes I will watch YouTube on it.
That's what it's meant to be there for.
But yeah, I don't really use it that much. And then the other phone, this is where I have like my language learning stuff that I like to do it on here.
Oh, you're doing LLM stuff. Oh, specifically on that phone.
Oh,
just
like
because
personal
it's-
language, like natural languages speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is my developer phone. I just have it here on the desk. And then I have a anonymous phone. So this is just a regular iPhone 12, I think. Or 30. I don't know which one it is.
What's the difference between these two phones?
One's you're gonna laugh. One's a 14 Pro.
Yeah.
One's an 11 or a 12, just a regular 12.
Is the 12 the anonymous one, or is the 12?
Yeah, the 12 is the anonymous one. Meaning that I haven't logged into Apple,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no SIM card in here. So if I want to go somewhere, I just dump a SIM because it has a SIM card. The new iPhones, the Pros at least, they don't have SIM cards anymore. It's
just
eSIM.
eSIM, right?
Yeah. So I can never get rid of this. I need to make sure I have something that I can put a SIM in because I go to sometimes I go to countries that the first thing you have to do when you get to the airport is you have to buy a SIM. There's no eSIM and they don't speak English, so I can't just. It's hard to try to explain. Oh, you need an eSIM to people who don't use eSIMs.
Huh.
And it's just the American versions of the phones or the North American versions that have eSIM. The rest of the world gets SIM.
Interesting. Oh, North America. Casual. No, I didn't notice. Although I got some weird things. It's because I was in Berlin, and I think all of my browser stuff when I set this up was still set to like Berlin time or like Central European time. So we got there. We got here. It all worked out. People showed up. People are watching.
Actually,
Places.
that's one thing that I hate. 'Cause I used to travel a lot and
Yeah.
going to different time zones, and my computer randomly changing my time zone, it irked me. Like it's always when things try to be helpful. It's just like it's like no, just let me opt into the help. But I know I'm probably because I'm probably not in the class or the group of users who this would benefit, even though that group of users is probably much larger. By just having it be, you know, it automatically updates your system date.
Yeah, I hadn't realized how difficult of a problem like time zone stuff was until I started to build stuff, and then you're like,
Yeah.
wow, this is not an easy problem. Like,
Yeah, now you have to care.
yeah, the only true way for you to actually solve the time zone problem is to force your users to select their time zone. And even then, like, if they go somewhere else, like, and you're not asking them, like, oh, it appears you're in a different place.
Yeah.
Would you like to change your time zone? Then things still seem to be off.
Or maybe they put the wrong one in on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and thank God, like, every piece of technology basically tracks everything in UTC, so you can play around with it afterwards. Like, you're not locked into be stuck with things until the end of time. But there was a little while where I was doing a bunch of calculations based on like days. So it would be like, oh, you've done this many like messages today, and then people were like, I don't know why, but it's saying I didn't post any messages today, but I definitely did. And it's saying that I posted messages tomorrow, but it's not possible for me to have posted those tomorrow. So.
Yeah. UTC does solve problems, but the problem is we always have to get it back to local time.
Exactly.
And we have to take local time to UTC, which is its own challenge because there's so many different ways you can represent your dates.
Should we touch some code maybe?
Sure.
Should we play around some code? I feel like we're technically we may be able to actually finish this one day. I kind of love that this is like true pair programming. Things happen. Things get done.
Well, I don't think anything is truly finished, like in the real sense of it, because companies exist. They'll have a product, and when is that product ever complete?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong, sir. All right. Where are we? I'm gonna share my screen over here. This guy. So we still have things in a bunch of different places right now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've got the DevCycle Leaf plugin, and then I think you've got the other two in your.
In maybe OneSignal developers.
Is it in OneSignal develop? I think it's in your personal.
It could, oh yeah, sure, yeah, there it is.
Hold on, I'm gonna just open desktop.
That's what I was.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
what
I feel like
doing.
this is.
I actually don't know.
For us. Oh, check out new accessibility settings. I'm okay. Thank you though. DevCycle docs. What do we got here? DevCycle Leaf plugin. Okay. Good, I got that. And then those are all example Leaf. Yeah, Leaf extensions. And one of them's in OneSignal Leaf developers. One of them is in your personal.
I have the OneSignal Leaf plugin that's in my in OneSignal developers.
Yeah, and then there's the Leaf extensions, which is like our testing, like our test bed.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Okay, and I've got all of them now, though. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's open a couple of these. Oh, speaking of which, this is a side note, but you might be interested in this. Maybe not, but I love like finding fun new frameworks. So I'm building a tutorial right now in HyperApp. Have you heard of HyperApp before?
I have not.
So HyperApp is a where is it hiding here? Hyper app. So it's a like micro framework for like hypertext applications. I don't even know what that means, but basically it's like a really, 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 really simple
Hypertext is your HTML. Hypertext.
yeah, just like super simple.
Yeah, it's a HTTP server. Is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Is it what language or like?
It's all just like vanilla JS.
Oh no. Okay. So no.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing special. I found it. There was another one I was playing around with this called like Mithril JS recently, which is very similar. And like, I feel like both of these are basically the same. It's like you want to build a single page application. This is the way to do it. But I actually find it interesting because you're building JavaScript or you're building HTML with
This feels
JavaScript.
different. This feels different. This looks
Which
like it's
one?
a client rendering. Mithril, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's for client rendering, so it's building out your markup, whereas the other one looks to be a HTTP server.
Does it? Because these both look
Yeah.
exactly the same to me.
Oh wait. No, it looks like there's a mix. Like, what is app? Is this all client side?
Yeah, this is all clients.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then. Yeah, you're right then.
It's just like slightly different implementations of the same.
But it really looks like React to me.
This looks Reacty to you, hey?
Yeah, that's what React is. So all of the components that you write in JSX or TSX, what that actually gets compiled to by your transpiler is something that looks more akin to this, where those are functions. So each of your components is actually a function. All of your props are actually parameters that go into that function as argument.
Interesting. Okay, so this is just like actually letting you get a little bit of insight into what's happening inside your React app.
I wouldn't call it letting you get insight. It's just going back down a level of abstraction. But if you want to see this, go to like just Google React and then render, and maybe there'll be a function. Yeah, sure. No, I think there's an actual function called render HTML. Yeah, search for render HTML in that search up there. Or to string. Because technically that's HTML too.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so you see how you're passing that app right there?
Yeah.
So that's going to take your app, which is JSX, and it's going to actually call all of the functions to build out your DOM. But before that, I think there's a transpilation process that happens so that you can actually run it. Or maybe React does that for you now.
Maybe. But either way, I think that's cool. I think it's cool that this is like removing a layer of abstraction. I feel like there's something interesting there. Yeah, but
You know why they did that though, right? Why they
In
added that
React?
layer, yeah, to make it declarative, because that's the model that most people on the web are familiar with. It's not necessarily here's what I want you to do in the steps in the order that you need to do it. It's I want a paragraph, and then you put in the things that you want. So it's just a different model. So the model that you have on the other one, where it's you're actually having to do it explicitly.
yeah.
That's probably fine for folks who are used to coding and who want to see the world in that view. But for the folks who are probably, they're coming from just regular HTML, I don't see how this is easier. There's a lot of ceremony.
No, this is scary. This was intimidating. But like, interestingly enough, like they do it with this like H method. Like to actually do all of this HTML stuff, but you can actually just do it as oh, this is the wrong one. Yeah, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it in like plain JavaScript as well. My app. Yeah, this is the one that I'm working on. But yeah, you can just do it in like traditional, which is so much cleaner. I don't know. I don't really want to build my DOM like that. Just seems like a lot.
Like, well, yeah, it is. But at the same time, sometimes it is important to be able to build it programmatically, which is why those APIs, at least in my opinion, that's why they exist. Is that you need to do something programmatically. probably in response to a bunch of data. Could
Yeah.
you imagine having to having to do that by hand? Or if you're like me and it's hard for you to like visualize a graph inside, or I guess it's technically a tree, but like it's hard to visualize a tree you looking at markup, which it is for me. So for me, the way that you were showing using the function, that's easier for me, because it's easier for me to say, all right, well, if this thing is a child of this thing, I can see that explicitly, whereas I need tools in order to kind of show me that same kind of thing in the DOM.
I'll give you that.
Where you collapse a div and you could collapse all the other divs, I had to do that so that I can understand what's even going on.
I'll give you that. I get it. I'm not the same. I'm built different.
Yeah, I mean,
Not wrong.
you came from the web, which that helps you. It helps here. Cause I remember when I first saw my first real CSS style sheet, I was like, nah, this isn't for me. No. I was looking at the HTML files. I was like, nah, it's not for me. I don't know how to do all that. It's confusing.
So Java has done that for me forever. Like I've just never wanted to touch Java or Scala. Like they've just really scared the ever-loving bejesus out of me as a programming language. And on Friday, I'm doing a stream where I'm gonna like add feature flags into like a Scala project, because I met this guy in Berlin who runs the Play framework.
Oh, I know that framework.
Yeah. So I met this guy.
Still around.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, so here's the interesting story that I heard from him is, so there was a company that this was like a company had been building out this framework, and then they had some budgetary changes where they needed to drop the framework. And so what they ended up doing was they went to the top contributor for the framework and they said, hey, we will give you this to maintain. And this is what he does full time. He makes like a good salary. And he literally just like maintains this framework as his full-time job. It's like a solo dude. This is all he does. It's amazing. Like it's kind of the dream. Maybe not the dream. I think it's definitely a dream. But yeah, but what I liked about this was actually like the way that it is the way that these are structured, like the way that this actual framework is structured seems a lot more accessible. Like just the MVC format, I find like a little bit less intimidating when they break it up this way.
What's interesting about this framework is that this is one of the frameworks, or the framework, not even one of the ones. This was the framework that we use in our web development class at my school. Really? Yeah. So it was taught in Scala, and we used Play. I also learned about Akka, which implements the actor model.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's part of the same thing. If you do like Scala Akka framework.
Yeah, I just saw
AKK, or you saw
right
it?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. So we use that as well for state management, I think, or for something. I forget what we used it for. But I have a long history with this, although I haven't used it in a long time, in a very long time.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Scala is not a bad language. My issue with Scala is not really a issue with Scala. It's more of an issue with the JVM in Java. Like you still have to deal with Java tooling, which I've never been a fan of. But I think that's because I fell into the Microsoft world after college, so I got used to good tools.
Yeah. See, I didn't realize that they were the same language. Well, not the same language, but that they were both compiling through or using JVM.
Mm-hmm.
And that intimidates me as well. I don't know. I just find, yeah.
There's a lot of things that's on JVM, and I've had a pretty long run of being able to avoid most JVM things, but I no longer get to avoid it as much because we support Java, and I found myself accidentally writing Java. I thought I was writing Kotlin. I was like, why is this so verbose? And then I realized that I'm writing Java. I was like, oh, no wonder. Just like I'm having to cast everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, typing everything, semicolons. It's like I don't miss this one bit.
Maybe that so what you're saying is what we've discovered, I feel like over the many months of doing streams together, is that I tend to go to the anti-will programming languages. So I'm gonna like fall in love.
Well,
with
I'm not
this.
saying that there's nothing wrong with if you like Java.
I just love the
curl.
curly. No, I just follow. I love the curly brackets. That's it. That's all. That's all that
I
look
think I
for.
like that too. So it sounds like you don't like white space significant languages.
I dislike. Oh, Python. Python and me are not friends.
I love how that's the first example is Python.
I don't know. Is there another? Is there another good
Oh
example?
yeah, there are a lot of good. Ruby is another one.
Okay.
It's white space.
I've had a lot of
Erlang is another one where it's like I kind of would love to do something in Erlang, but I'm just like, not Erlang. What's the language? Ah man, I forgot the name of the language. I think it is Erlang.
Yeah, it's Erlang. Yep.
No, click on the code. I'm not sure if this is it.
Hold on. Let me see if there's an example. Hello world.
No, I don't think it's this language actually. There's another language that's I think based on the Erlang VM or something like that, and it's I forgot what it's called. I feel bad.
Lisp, Elixir.
Elixir, yeah, Elixir.
Elixir's scary. I played around in Elixir for a stream earlier this year, and maybe it's not Elixir. It was like there's like an Elixir framework called Phoenix, and it was just like it's so.
They're
heavy.
that's their what like web server thing.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, is this it?
I think so. Yeah. No, whatever you call the thing. It's curly braces.
Still gives you curly braces, but for different things, not for.
You get the end, I guess, but a lot of that could be solved with tooling too. So, but then you have to do it, which is my issue with a lot of some of these languages, where it's like, yes, I know, I appreciate that you give me the choice, but make the decision for me.
Yeah, opinionated languages are a good thing. I want my tools opinionated so that there can be tools that are built to support those opinions.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Which way did you think I was going with it?
So that you can have something to disagree with. that's what I
Yes.
That makes it more fun.
That's fantastic. I want to be able to go and yell at you on forums and in other places.
Yeah, it's the spice of life.
I personally am like, I have used a number of like the more that I'm in this world and the more that I use frameworks and tools and languages that are unopinionated, and they're like, we want this to be this open world where you can like do anything and everything, and then you're like, yeah, but then I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like even tools like Notion was really, really good, but then it's too much freedom. It's like the guardrails are gone.
Well, it's also the guardrails they have sharp spikes on them.
They do.
They're not good guardrails. You know, they built a triangle when they probably should have built an octagon. Something like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I just want Markdown. A very good Markdown editor. The closest that I've gotten is this is a tool that what's his face he built. I forget what it's called. He has a YouTube channel. Obsidian's good too, and it has its issues. Obsidian, but it's probably some of the best Markdown authoring that I've experienced for valid Markdown. But you have to turn off some of the things.
Who wrote it? Well, or yeah, who's the person? Do you remember?
He's a YouTube developer. Shit. What is it called? Do Japanese YouTube developer text editor or Markdown text editor or something like that. Dev Life. I think that's his name. All right. Yeah. You see it here? Yeah. Ink Drop. That's what it's called. Go to just Google Ink Drop.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Ink Drop.
You're getting a peek into how my mind works. I don't remember anything. It's all based off of prompts. So it's just a cool Markdown editor that this one guy built that has a plugin ecosystem where you can, do things. The reason why I left it has nothing to do with it not being great. But everything to do is I can't own my notes. That's now a requirement. I want my notes in my repo on my computer. I don't want to pay a monthly fee.
Oh, is this a monthly fee?
Yeah, because he syncs them. Yeah, so I was just like, $10. I know that's the new like minimum for a subscription, but that's a lot of money. $120 a year. That's a lot of money for something that used to be free. so I bought it for a year just to contribute, I like what you're doing, but I can't do this.
I feel like this isn't the right alternative to
the thing about these types of lists are they're never really accurate because they don't have my opinions on things, on how software should work. And they are always missing things. So they never really, I guess the people who build these, I think they're just doing it with AI or something. And it shows that they've never used the software. Because they'll be like, oh yeah, this is what you could do. But it's like, well, how do you do it in each one of these systems? Is it extensible? How does it work when you are, doing things that are a little bit out of the ordinary for a normal person, but not out of the ordinary for someone who literally works with text 7 or 8, 10 hours a day,
Fair. I've heard of a few of these ones though.
I used Bear. I would not call Bear an alternative to InkDrop. It supports Markdown Lite. That's what I call it, where it gives you the main features of Markdown, but if you go anywhere outside of just basic stuff, it doesn't work. Same thing with Notion. Same thing with Craft, which I still pay for, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the reason why I continue with Craft is I decided that there is a time where I don't want to author my stuff in Markdown, right? Where it's just like, if it's just something that I want to quickly get up, like a blog post or something like that, it's easier for me to just type the thing and just publish it.
Yeah, it's fair. But yeah, this is a thing that I also, and I feel like that's a lot of money, like $90 a year.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone is, on this grind to, charge all this money for basic things. That's why if I ever build anything, it will probably be really cheap. Something like, $1 a month, $2 a month. Cause I'm not greedy, It's just like, if I'm getting $12 or $10 a year from people, a few hundred people who find something that I build valuable, that's good enough. If I want more money, I should maybe go develop something else, not add more value to it, which increases the price.
Oh, this is interesting. Zettler. So what do you get? Open source, Zotero integration. This is very much for academics. Don't know what this even means. Themes, languages, stats. Markdown preview, in place or WYSIWYG. Pandoc supported. Interesting. I've heard of this one before. This was actually, they sold Zettler when I was doing my master's. They were like, yeah, this is like a really good tool to use.
There was another one that I know it's like the de facto one for academics, but Obsidian is really good.
It is. For that. I've heard amazing things.
And it's free. Unless you want to, but you can opt into their syncing, which that will cost you, which I'm okay with that. Like, let me opt into, syncing my notes and potentially selling it to advertisers or training AI with it,
There you go. Old school, just notes. Why does everything that is made by these Linux companies have to just look so ugly?
I don't think that's ugly.
You don't think that's ugly? I feel like it's not maybe not.
Are you talking about the colors? The colors are
no. It's okay. Like just an unpolished. Just feels unpolished to me.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
I know.
You don't.
I
just
know.
Give me the thing that works. Have you you used Zed, right?
Zed, yes. I've used Zed before.
Have you noticed that it's just fast?
I have, yeah, for sure.
That's because it doesn't have the polish.
I find it's actually more polished than VS Code, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. What is this? Mark Flowy?
Mark Flowy. Build using the Tori framework, Rust for the back end.
I want to Ncurses UI for Markdown editing. And I know I can get it. I'm sure there are people who will watch this and be like, just use Vim, and sure, but but I don't want to have to configure it. So if I can find a pre-configured like NeoVim configuration for Markdown editing that has all of the stuff, I would use that. Just, my music editor, or not my music editor, my music player now is a terminal.
Yeah, I remember you showed it to me last stream and it looked awesome.
Yeah, it's so fast. It reminded me of like what computers were when I first were introduced to them. They were text-based interfaces when I used my first computer. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I missed this, where I could just do something and it does that thing.
And you don't have to worry about all the polish. You just get to worry about the thing.
Well, some of the polish is dressed up as features. Like, I'm unable to play certain music on my computer using Apple Music because I don't know. So yeah, I'm going the opposite direction, and I'm just less things. Are you looking for a Markdown editor by any chance?
No. I'm just poking around. Just I feel like I'm diving down a hole. No, I go through these cycles every few years, and the one that I found that I loved, and I specifically loved it because I could sync it with like almost anywhere that I wanted to store my files, was called, oh my god, hold on, FOSS note-taking apps, and it was in Markdown. Awesome note-taking. See if you find it. Not CLI, native GUI, no.
I have an idea. It just hit me. Since you like looking at these things, part of what we can do for our stream is compile lists like this. Make it open source where we go out and
I like that.
Do this, play with stuff, and have opinions.
Yeah.
Maybe the unopinionated things, we give them some opinions. We help them out. We lend them some.
Hey, we can be the opinions for them. So this is the one that I used. It's called Joplin, and it's been around forever. And the thing that I love about this is they have like apps for every platform, but it's Markdown first. And like, let's say I want to store all of my notes on like Google Drive, or if I want to store them on like an FTP server somewhere, like you could literally just set it up within the app and then save it there, and it'll auto sync whenever you get connected to the internet. It's totally free. They have like a cloud version if you want to use it, but you don't need to. But yeah, this is like my go-to. Every time that I decide that I want to get back into doing this stuff, I always like re-download this app and resync my notes. It also has like a to-do app built into it, so you can kind of use it for to-do items or for note-taking or both. And they've got an API as well, but I've never actually used that. But yeah, I also don't know if they actually still do that syncing to different places.
Yeah, that seems like a moneymaker. If
yeah, Dropbox, Nextcloud, OneDrive, an S3 bucket. Yeah, WebDAV. That's what I was thinking. So like basically, you can use the WebDAV protocol and basically store it anywhere.
Okay, I think Obsidian's the same, except it's just files.
Yeah, so is this. Yeah, this is literally just Markdown files.
So yeah. Oh, I meant like it's files in your file system. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to sync. Well, it's just files in your file system. So you could, whatever syncing tool you want, which helps it be free. Because I've learned that if they handle, basically, if you can't save the Markdown files in your normal file system in whatever way that you prefer, then yeah, good luck. You're going to be charged monthly, and if you don't pay it, you'll lose access to your things. By the way, I went through this recently with my photo library, where I wanted to get off of Adobe.
Yeah.
But, like all of my photos were on their servers. So like, how do I get them off? How do I make sure I have a backup of all of my latest stuff? That kind of thing. Yeah, I went through a whole thing. I thought I lost my photos because I went through with it. Yeah.
But you didn't?
Fortunately, I have this NAS. that I invested in, and it paid dividends. So I did delete it off my NAS, but apparently it doesn't do data scrubbing, and I'm the reason why I said it. I don't remember setting it though, but I said it where it only does data scrubbing once every 60 days. So I happened to be within that 60-day window, so it was in a recycle folder, and I was able to get it out there. So I'm
That
like,
is
oh my gosh.
stressful. That
Yeah.
is stressful to me.
Yeah, well now it was good. It was it forced me to get my shit together.
Yeah.
So now it's together. I have syncing set up, like these jobs or whatever. I use something called Chronosity. Chronosity. Oh, Chronosync. My bad. I made up Chronosity, I think.
It's all right. I feel like there's an app there. Ultimate Backup File Sync app.
Yes, this thing.
So this is, I'm guessing, way better than, what's the built-in one?
Oh, Time Machine?
Yeah.
Time Machine is phenomenal for backing up your Mac.
Yeah. But not for specific
I
files.
have like several external hard drives connected at any time. My NAS has several volumes on it that could be connected at any time, as well as SD cards. So one of the cool things is if I didn't want to use Adobe, I would have had to come in and like build out a flow here so that anytime I put in an SD card, it'll only pull off certain folders or files and then put it in a specific location with a specific format with specific permissions.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And like you can create a schedule so that it will run, but you wouldn't want to do that with SD cards, right? So you
No.
probably set up a trigger so that anytime that volume is mounted, do the thing. So it's different, but it's really useful if you have to move around a lot of data or keep it backed up, or if you want to have it mirrored in different places. It's phenomenal. It's paid,
to know.
but
But
if you're working with a lot of data, you will quickly find that it's worth just
also
have the
one
tool.
time
Yes.
$50. I mean, good software is worth the money.
I bought this years ago. It wasn't even $50 when I bought it.
And do you get updates as they come in?
Yeah, I get updates, but I'm at an age where I will ignore updates. I will skip them. Just like leave my computer alone. Like it works. I don't need anything. So for the most part, I don't do updates unless it's something that has an auto update and I can't control it. Then sure.
Really?
Yeah. Or I'll look at the release notes to see if there's anything in there that fixes something that I've had, like a problem that I've had, or if it's adding something that I really want. So for Ecamm, for instance, I didn't update it until they added something that I really wanted. I was like, okay, it's time to upgrade now.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because you have to do
I've-
stuff every
It's
time
true.
you update.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I heard recently that like cell phones, especially in the Apple ecosystem, like if the phone's over 2 years old, you should really stop updating to the more recent operating systems, because it's just gonna eat up all of the RAM that you have on your device and all of the compute power that exists on it. And then I'm like, oh, that's why my phone is slowing down now, because it's the right up to date, and my phone is 4 years old at this point.
And
So
you have all the latest apps who are building their stuff for the latest phones
yeah,
and not really worrying about, I understand it. Like someone who deals with software, and I get it. It's a lot to manage.
yeah, to maintain old versions of
Yeah.
all your stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
But-
I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
But who knows? Maybe not gonna. Maybe I may have to go back to it.
yeah.
one day.
Don't say this. It's always when you say these things that they start happening for you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this whole maintenance piece, right, is the struggle is real. Oh my god.
There's some other things that I think are worth worth it, like tools on a Mac that deal with making sure that you don't lose access to I don't know if it's a tool, unless you consider a NASA tool, but I would highly recommend you use Time Machine.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, like please just do it.
I do not use it.
It's like insurance.
I also don't have any. I don't really save files locally either.
Where do you save them? Oh, on the cloud?
Like most of my stuff is on the cloud, or like any of my code is saved on GitHub.
Uh huh.
Any of my image files, like I literally put them on a separate hard drive that I have in my desk. Because like I'm not looking at them that often, and so I literally just have like hard drives upon hard drives in a desk drawer for like all my photos and stuff like that.
Get a NAS.
Yeah, just to like have as the backup,
Huh?
like just to have there, like as the ability to actually engage
Well,
with this
you'll
content.
have one volume, so like you can get rid of multiple things, and if you get the right one, you can do RAID configuration, where you
Okay.
can stripe all that data across multiple drives. So in essence, giving you a backup. But a lot of the NAS software these days have tools that allow you to connect it to cloud providers as well, and you can point to different locations on the NAS to go and get backed up, so you could have something off-prem.
Interesting.
And sometimes they are a lot faster, depending on, like a lot of it's dependent, right? Like what drives are you putting in, how are you connected to it, that kind of thing. But it's one of those things where you don't think about it until you have to think about it, and when you have to think about it, it's typically a catastrophic event,
Yeah.
and it's probably the wrong time to be thinking about stuff like that. If you haven't lost data yet, good.
I have in years past. I've made mistakes, so I'm just I forget about all the mistakes until the next one happens.
Here's a mistake I made a long time ago, and this is what prompted me to have my passwords encrypted and then store it somewhere else. Is that I normally have encrypted backups. So if I'm going to create a volume or something and put it on an external hard drive, I format the hard drive as APFS so that I can take advantage of some of the encryption, and I'll create a DNG, which is the file that you're probably used to doing, like a volume. I would dump all of my stuff in that volume, and that volume can be secured with a key phrase. And then I would take that volume and dump it on the hard drive. So in the event that my hard drive is lost, stolen, or whatever, you can't really do anything with it. You can only delete it. So I forgot one of my key phrases once. So I lost data, a lot of it. I was just like, I don't know what it is. And I tried it for a few months, and I was just like, I just gave up. And this is what taught me to name my machines.
Yeah.
So all of my computers have a name. I can get to them on my network by name. And to also have a system for how I name my drives. And yeah, just make sure that I have backups of everything. It's
just like that thing where like rules are only made when, like, if you see a sign somewhere that says don't do a dumb thing, it's because somebody did that dumb thing and they need to create a rule.
Well, that's
It's
what I
kind
call
of things like
process.
that.
That's process.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
like once you've gotten burned, okay, all right. How do I not get burned again? And I think that's why I've learned a lot of these things well, because they've all come as a result of getting burned. And it's just like I have to learn it well because something's on the line.
Don't get burned, people. If you're watching this, listen to this advice. Listen to this advice.
Yeah, do it. Don't just listen. You got to go and do it.
Yeah, go do it, or experience the chaos and then refer back to this video. When
Yeah,
you're trying to recover from it.
There are companies that exist that charge people thousands of dollars to do data recovery.
Yeah.
So there's also that option where you could be left with I really need this, and it's like, okay, $2,000. It costs that much? I don't know.
It doesn't really cost that much, but they can charge that much because you need it.
Well, yeah, it's a hard to come by skill set.
It definitely is. All right, we'll at least look at code. I don't know if we're gonna get very far today in like 45 minutes, but let's like look at stuff. Hold on, where'd my screen go? Leaf extensions. Is this one? Yeah, this.
I'm gonna go grab some water.
Yeah, go grab some water. I'm gonna get this loaded up. All right. So that's the dev cycle one. Dev cycle. Leaf plugin. Is it still there though? That's my question. So this, I just want to see if this file is actually still here. Documents, GitHub. Whoa, I want to see them organized like this. What was the name of that one, guys? That was DevCycle Leaf plugin. I don't know if this is still here anymore. Name, sort, DevCycle. Oh no, DevCycle Leaf plugin. Okay, so that's still there. Haven't touched it since May. Oh. And then I also have the One Signal Leaf plugin in here, don't I? Somewhere?
Um,
I think I do.
maybe.
Yeah,
So
One
how
Signal
about
Leaf
this? Let's
plugin.
create a new folder, and we can add all of them to the same group folder or something like that. Well, yeah.
I don't know. It's not too much of a
Got it?
change to do
Okay.
here. So hold on, let me. Oh my god, what just happened there? Hold the phone. All right, so then a One Signal Leaf plugin, One Signal Leaf plugin, and then I need to do the same thing here. One Signal, One Signal.
I thought I
This is like-
committed that. Did we not commit that?
So I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I definitely just pulled this. Hold on. Did I
I committed
pull?
something 28 days ago that looks similar on Leaf extensions.
Okay, let's go look at that. GitHub.com. Is this one in yours?
No,
is
no,
this one in
just
the
just go
WhatsApp?
back to your folder. Go back to your I'm sorry to and go do control tilde. All right, and then inside of there do git pull, git pull.
Yeah, it's already up to date.
Oh, okay. Why are you having to do that?
Well, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Leaf extensions.
Let me make sure I published. Maybe I didn't publish it. Leaf extensions. Click on the first commit in the history. Is it A637? Or okay. You can also do inside of the folder. I'm sorry, inside of your IDE or text editor or whatever that is.
Oh, in here? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do git space log dash one line. No,
That
the
it?
number one line. Or I'm sorry, spell it out. One line.
Oh, one line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Head is currently on C4A.
All right. Okay, I see what's going on. All right, do Q. Do git checkout main. I didn't realize that was your branch name. Yeah,
Oh,
you
hold
can
on,
stash it if you want.
No. It's fine. I don't need to ignore.
Oh well, just do this. Just type git reset dash hard.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
Okay. All right. So do a git pull here.
Already up to date.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the file that we were
That
looking at.
composer file.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, you must have
but-
got it when you did the pull, but you're on the wrong branch. That may have been it. I didn't see you do the pull. I was doing something else at that time.
Oh shit! But now I've actually got to update this because this is grabbing from your.
Yeah,
folder
just put
structure.
your name. Just put your name. Oh, I see. Yeah.
This is fine. But wait, why is this coming from both places?
Wait, what do you mean by both places?
So you've got this repository here, and you technically have it in like coming from GitHub and then also coming from local.
I thought that I was told to do that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna comment this out.
But
Which
we
I can't
definitely
do.
we need your path.
Yeah, we do need my path. So where was that path? It is copy path name. That's what I want to do, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it wants to go to here. Yep. Did I get the right? Yep, that's good. And then down here, same thing. Yes. And then I got to do the same thing for dev cycle here. dev cycle, and dev cycle, and dev cycle. Andrew documents GitHub dev cycle, and then I gotta do the same thing up here. I'm gonna remove this for now because I don't think we actually need that. I don't know. We'll find out. And then this is gonna be same thing, but dev cycle, leaf plugin. Okay, so I think that should be good. Yeah, and then let's just go. Do I have leaf installed as the CLI? Leaf. I gotta install the leaf CLI now.
Again,
I don't know.
I thought you had it.
I
last time.
definitely thought I did too, but maybe I'm typing the wrong thing.
Oh, did you ever hear back from is it Michael?
No, so I never heard back from Michael, and I've reached out to him a couple of times, so I don't know what's going on. Whether he just saw our stream and gave up, and he's just like, I'm done, I'm leaving this framework behind. But he said there was a family, like last time that I sent him a message, he was like, there was a family emergency, so.
What's the last commit on this? That's how I test to see if something's dead. Maybe there should be a little micro service that I could make where it's called "Is it dead?"
I would use it.
Like that.
To be honest with you, I would 100% use it. Mac OS here. Command not found leaf. Okay, here we go. I think that's what I need. Is this? Yes. Yes. So the permanent you need to add your bachelor C. I think I'm ZSH. Paste. Okay. Leaf dash V. Okay, awesome. So now I should be running, what's the command? It's like leaf run, leaf serve, leaf serve. And then I'm going to get an error. Yes. One signal not found because I haven't actually installed anything. Storage is fine, but I'm going to delete this vendor folder. Delete. Move to trash. JSON. I'll remove this lock file. Oh no, I can't delete the lock file because that breaks things. Okay, let's try this again. Composer install. Oh yeah, did you find out? Did you find out when the last commit was? For leaf? Oh, I suppose I was in there.
Oh no. I'm sorry, I didn't look.
No, you're good. GitHub leaf PHP. When was the last commit? 4 months ago.
So, if I did build something that answers this, where you just gave it a repo, I would want to use more than just one heuristic. So come up with some type of thing that could tell you based on issues, pull requests, maybe commits, because some people don't use PRs, tags, when's the last tag or release or that kind of thing. Because there might be a history of something only being released like once a month or something like that, or or once every 3 months. So you don't want to call it dead. So yeah, this could just be a dead project.
No, it's not. 2 days ago. So just
okay.
he hasn't updated core, but he's been updated.
Wait, click on 15. Click on what that was.
This one, the CLI.
Yeah, the thing that says number 15.
Oh. Wait. Oh, right here. It's like a typo fix. Oh, I see what you're saying. So maybe it's not actively being developed.
Yeah. So I would look at the PRs to see like what's actually there. Because if it's just a bunch of how do you say it? Not all commits are created equal. I'll just say that.
Correct.
So if it's a bunch of those types of commits, then it's probably not likely you would want to invest, your time in building on top of something that
True.
Isn't going to be maintained.
Okay, so We're getting worker stuff. This is all there. This is the same friggin' compiler issue that happens every friggin' time that we delete the composer lock file.
Do you remember the fix? Because I don't.
Yeah, it was to restore the lock file. So thankfully I didn't delete it. I kept it. Composer lock. I'll just delete vendor, and I think that'll fix it. It's a weird bug, and I do not understand why it's there even.
Well, it seems like a composer issue and not.
It is a composer issue. 100% is. Leave serve.
I think there has to be a composer option that allows you to blow away the lock file. There should be something like that. I would spend some time to look for that, because that may be a solution, which is, let's say we have an old lock file, but we don't care about it. We want to like force it, then just do that. Like get the latest version. Here, I'll look for that.
Yeah. Either way, we've got it in here. So now we just so it's working, which is great, and it's working even though our we don't actually have any keys in here. So let's add those keys in here. Let's add our DevCycle server SDK key. I'll grab that over here. Oh, and I installed this. I installed that plugin, by the way. Finally, the one that hides your.
Something. I know what you're talking about. I don't know names of things. Oh yeah, Cloak.
Yeah,
I
Cloak.
See it. Yeah.
Install Cloak. All right, test project. Let's go. Create a new project because we need another one. Collaboration. Disable create project.
One thing I learned about Cloak is that you have to name your file something .lock. Like it has to have .lock in it. And I think it has to be m.lock, because if you do like m.local, it won't work. I'm sorry. It needs to just be .env. It can't be .env.local. So it has to end in a .env.
Oh, wait, hold on. Was there actually keys in here?
Yeah. If you highlight like that, that means that there's a key there. You probably don't want to show it on screen though.
Oh, I'm fine. I'll kill the project afterwards. But that's super interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this over into a note. I guess we have been working on this notepad notes for a while. Don't want to pull that here. Pull it over here. Is there something there? Oh yeah, the keys are actually in there. Love that. Okay, sick. What if I paste this? If I paste this here, does it work? Nice. Okay, I'm gonna update my key then to a new project. I love that. So I was wondering, I was like, oh, this is actually like working, which I was a bit surprised about. Okay, so that's there. So that's working now. So keys are in there. App should be running fine. So we're in the right place. Apps there. Client error, and this is the too many requests one, which we were expecting. Submit, dev signal, test. What is this supposed to be doing? What is the test endpoint supposed to be doing?
Looks like it creates a notification.
Oh yeah, and then these things, this was in my project, so let's go over and see if that actually worked. App.devcycle, oh no, app.onesignal. One signal, come on, one signal.
There should have been some output on your logs too, if anything occurred.
Post test clothing, 200. So it should have worked.
Oh, okay. What about output? Is there anything in output? No, never mind. All right.
Not. There is not. All right, let's log into here and see dev signal and then total subscription records, because it shows up, if I remember from last time, is it under messaging? Where does it show up? Message.
Go to audience, down, and subscriptions.
Yes. this one, right?
Yeah, it looks like you're not subscribed. So you have to go to your app. I think you made a web app, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you go to your web app, and then you will have to give it push permission. You should be prompted. If you don't get prompted, that means it was dismissed in the past. So you have to click on. There's like this little lock icon in Chrome.
Okay, so we're going back into our application here.
Yeah, that thing.
Clearing cookies.
Yeah, you could do that too, I think.
I don't know if we got that far even. I feel like we were about to do the client side stuff and we never got there.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I think we needed to split the project up so we can do these types of things.
Yeah, we got something though. I remember we had something that was going through. Hold on. If I kill this, if I delete this, delete subscription. And now if I go in here and I try and
Well, you should just be able to refresh at this point because the subscription is created before you try to send.
Okay, let's see. Refresh. Okay, so nothing there. But I remember, is it sent messages? Oh, yeah. This was the last time that we streamed.
6/26?
Yeah.
Wait, what month is this?
This is June. This was the last of the stream.
Okay. I knew that. I was just testing you.
I remember this. Yeah, from API. Okay, so I remember this. I remember us doing this and it worked. So then what's the issue now? Why is it not?
Well, we would want to look at the logs. So whether, I don't know if we're sending it back to the client or if it's somewhere here.
So right now we're doing a post to test, post app ID, notification, new notification, set app ID, string map, set English, content, set include tag segments, total subscription. So this is what's going on right now.
Is there a way that we can potentially get the error that comes out of create notification, or will it just get thrown out to your log somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if anything's actually happening. This is all server side, so nothing's actually going to show up on our client. Unfortunately, I wish that did. That'd make our lives a lot easier. What about even the...
Go to network.
Yeah,
network. Maybe we return something.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Let's refresh this. Yeah, we get it. Okay, and let's go submit.
I don't see the request. There should have been a... Oh, there it is. Response. Nothing.
No response data.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be inside of Python. So if something fails, what happens? Does it automatically throw, or do we have to wrap it in some type of structure to pull out there?
I think it should be throwing. I feel like that's what the error. So I don't know. Yeah, I want to know where the actual error is happening here.
Well, let's confirm that it's being sent. Can you go to OneSignal and confirm that we have a sent message that's different from the one that we just did? So scroll down.
Got nothing from push in app.
No, it's push.
Yeah, we got nothing.
All right, what about subscriptions? Go back to subscriptions and see if we even have a subscription.
No,
we don't. Okay,
that subscription.
All right, so let's go back to your app, to the web app.
Yeah, we're here.
In Chrome.
Oh, yeah.
And click that eye thing icon in the URL bar.
Oh.
Site set. No, go back. Go to site settings, and we're looking for notifications. So select notifications. You passed it, and do allow. All right, and you can click out here, Command W. All right, and then go into your app storage here. So there's like a next to memory, that thing. Go to application. And all right, we have.
Oh yeah, there it is. Dismissed.
Okay, so that may be why it didn't show you. No. We should have it now. So just refresh and go back to see if you have a subscription. And if not, then we can do that.
Oh, go back here.
Yeah. And refresh. Let's see if we get a subscription. No. Okay. So now I guess you can go and delete that thing. All right. So I think the next thing we need to do is, where is the client code at for JavaScript that's running here in the
It's all in the blade. So it is views index.blade. So it'll be in here.
Okay. All right. So let's add a new script tag. And we want to, there is some one signal. Wait, how are we initializing this on the client, or are we? We're not doing that, I guess.
No.
Okay. Before we go through this, what were we trying to accomplish on the, like, what were we trying to accomplish?
So we were going to build like a UI to actually, yeah, I think that's what we were going to do. We were going to build some sort of like an admin panel that somebody that's using a Leaf app, if they're going to install this one signal, they would get like an endpoint that they would be able to go to, and they would have like a very simple like management UI to like be able to send a message to their users.
Okay. So I think we're in the wrong project. The Leaf extension, this is for the building of the extension.
Yes.
There should be a consumer project or a driver project somewhere.
Yeah. Let me grab it. I think it's Leaf extensions. I want to grab open feature, one signal Leaf plugin. Let's grab this guy, repository, open VS Code. Okay, yeah, here it is. Source one signal. Yeah, so here's what's happening here. So we've got our client, our constructor, our view apps, and our get client.
This is the backend. We need. Let me see if I can. All right. I don't know PHP like this, but I think this right here is the one signal, like the core plugin.
It is
that we're importing in the other project.
Yeah.
And then in that other project, it's using stuff that's happening on the server, but it's also rendering out a view that.
Yeah. You're talking about this. So
yes.
That's where we are right now. So what we're in right now is into this blade template.
Okay. Here. So this is the thing that we're building out our stuff in. It's just a driver. It's not really meant to do the things, right?
Correct. Yeah. This is just like the place that we're calling this.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So in that case, we will need to have another page. It can't be this one that we're going to run the one signal client on.
Correct. Yeah. And I feel like what we can probably do, I just don't know how, is actually like build it within the extension. So basically in our extension, we're going to create not only all of this stuff to initialize the client, but basically a route. We're going to like install a route that's going to be like a locked down like /one signal route that's only accessible by a specific username and password or something.
Let's do the easy one first. Let's move this one signal admin thing to one signal admin or admin. Like let's build the admin page.
Great.
Where we can move our two respective things, because that was confusing before. I'm like, wait, why are we building in our, I don't know, the plugin?
So I think the idea here was just to give access to the one signal client and the dev cycle client, so people can do whatever they want there. So like my idea here, my original idea for this was basically to stop where we are right now. And this is basically what we're giving them, is the ability to easily add the one signal client in here, and basically just to have to do this. Where is it? Basically, I want them to just have to do this if they're going to use DevCycle or one signal in their application.
So yeah, that's fine to stop at. But if we wanted to do like what we were going to do, we would have to do that in like I'm calling a driver project. It would have to be something else. That's why when we send a message, there's nothing that's getting it, because we don't have a subscription, and I think we deleted it.
I don't know how we got that
I
subscription
may have,
in there either.
I may have, if I was driving, I may have created a
You were.
dummy site just so that we can play around with it.
Maybe.
So
But I feel like this is really like it's silly, but I feel like this is actually beneficial because really this is it. What's great about this is that people right now can go in and this is all they need to be able to use DevCycle or OneSignal and pull it into their application
okay,
and simply use it. Like, could
yeah,
they
just give
build
the
this?
client. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like we're literally just giving the client for them and now they can easily use these. I feel like we could extend these, but I feel like we've spent 7-8 hours kind of learning the framework and all the rest of that stuff. I do feel like this is probably we can keep building things out, but I feel like
All right,
maybe-
but the thing that we deliver wouldn't be this extension. It would be the 2 plugins.
it would
And
be the
then
2
this
plugins.
right here
Yeah.
would just be like in a readme of how do you actually use it.
Exactly. This is like a play. This is like a playground of
Okay.
like here's how it's actually implemented. So I think there's still value in here of like, okay, here's how you might use this. Like here's one way you might use this. But I feel like, yeah, really this like 40 lines of code is really the powerful thing that we've given them, which is just like use this, and then you're just needing to have your in your environment file to have these 3, well, really 1 key for DevCycle and 2 keys for OneSignal.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that's fine.
That seems good. I
There
feel
are
like
some
we've-
things we need to do to clean up to
Yes.
get it ready
Yeah.
for publishing. I'm not saying we need
Yeah.
to do it now,
Well,
but
what do we need to do?
in the plugin, because we're not going to publish the extension.
No,
so
no,
here,
no.
the view apps that goes away on line 25.
Oh yeah. Are we? Oh yes, because we literally just want the client.
Yeah, we were doing that just as we had something to test
Yep.
easily.
Yep.
And then if we're doing anything special in yours, we want to deal with that as well.
Yeah, and I think we're doing a similar thing. Okay, so this is
So yours is
good.
going to be in the you have a separate project for yours
I do, yeah. So I'll open that one up now too.
to add to the
one
confusion there.
Yeah, I know. Hey, where are you hiding? DevCycle, Leaf plugin. Hold on, Dev Leaf plugin. There it is. Repository, open VS Code. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think we had a similar thing in ours. Oh no, ours was just like super simple.
Okay. And we're loading these from where? Are we using that $ server SDK key? How does
What do you mean?
you see on line 16? So when we call the constructor, where is that server SDK key coming from?
Oh, so we're gonna feed that in from the environment variables. Let's go
Okay.
back to our sample app. So, oh shit, where are you hiding? DevCycle Leaf extensions. Yeah, so that's basically getting called.
That's
here.
there. Okay. All right. Cool. Then yeah, I think that's fine. So we can get these ready for publishing,
Yeah, let's do that.
And,
I feel like there's something.
and like we'll get the README. I'm thinking for next time. I don't think we're gonna.
No, I don't think we'll get it all done, but like let's add something into the README so that we actually know what's going on for next time of like to do. Okay, but let's close this down.
No, I think that was the README. Oh yeah, sure.
No, that was my other one. Okay, so this is good. OneSignal, we got our constructor, get client, composer. We got to add a README in here. Okay, so to do in here, we need to add to do. We need to add a description. We need to add. Oh, look at you.
No contributing. I won't accept. So it's. I'm being honest. Like I don't want to.
No, that's fair. License. Yeah, I guess that's it. I think that's fine. And I'll do the same thing.
And
here.
make sure you put the header. So GitHub will render it properly.
New file readme.mp. So header.
No,
What are you
like
talking about?
so go to line 1 and
Yeah.
to the beginning, press enter, and then you'll put the name of the project or something. So DevCycle Leaf plugin,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
but it needs to have the
Yeah. The cap. The
thing at that thing.
Bash.
Yeah, cool.
Go.
That thing, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do something silly after this, but that I think will be helpful for us. But for now, that's there. Okay. Composer file's fine. This is fine. Source. Yeah, I mean, like, this is super. It's very simple what we've done here.
Now, I have a question about that the PHP. Is there missing? Is something missing?
What do you mean in here?
It's just the open question mark, open online one. Does that need to be
Nope.
closed?
No, it's weird. I don't understand it either, but in a lot of
Okay.
these frameworks, they just do like the opening, but it never closes, and I have no idea why.
Okay.
I have no idea why.
All right. Then all right. I guess I'm okay then.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my good friend Mr. ChatGPT to do this for us. We got like 10 minutes left, or 5 minutes left, or a couple minutes left. I'm gonna have my good friend Mr. GPT help us out. All right. Can you write a GitHub repo README for an extension for the Leaf PHP framework?
I'm actually interested to see. I have low hope, low faith, comically low. Oh, yo, what's up, Kazagonis? You're here. He said 2 hours just went by.
Usage, configuration, REST API key, REST API key. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Happy coding. Give this to me in a downloadable file. Downside of this UI is it like shows some things in like the right markdown and some things that are not. So like there's more of this.
It's not the UI that's doing this. It's the actual output. What ends up happening is it gives you incorrect markdown. But there's a way that you can like get rid of it. You basically say in markdown and you can have it like literal like actual markdown without rendered. So not in rendered markdown, but in markdown.
Let's see what this does for us. So this one's the one signal one. Okay, once you leave this browser process, extensifies process of sending push notifications by wrapping with API with PHP clause features. Sure, fine. Yes, bash usage configuration, REST API and user auth key. Here's an example of how to do this. It's one signal, REST API, user auth, new one signal. Is it actually pulling in one signal that way, or is it pulling in one signal from? Hold on. Is that the way it's actually doing it in here? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Where's my example again? Here. One signal. Okay. I mean, this is looking okay.
Well, it's in a PR, so I mean, it didn't have to be perfect.
We're gonna pull out the contributing stuff though. We'll leave it under MIT. Don't contact us. Oh no, actually like that. Feel free to open an issue. That's fine. Guzzle. No? Let me kill it.
Well, because like
it's fair.
Can we actually commit to maintaining?
No, that's fair. I can also do a note at the top of this that just says like this extension has been created for like testing purposes only and should not be used in production.
As a result of a live stream.
Yeah.
And then you can link to the live stream and then we get more.
Like
hopefully, I don't know. Do you have a playlist for this on YouTube?
I do. Yeah.
Just link to the playlist.
So. All right. How do you do important? Okay. This extension has been created as part of a live stream series and should not be used in production is not, hold on, live stream series, I'm gonna, is not actively maintained and should not be used in production. Please check out the series on YouTube. If that actually has the right link to this series,
Low face, but do it. We can see who they've stolen from.
I mean, that's not bad. PHP tutorials.
But
I don't.
I mean, what I see is that this person has been stolen from. That's what I see. Because it trained on something that referenced his stuff. So I wonder how, like, could we get the actual document where this came from? I think we could.
Probably. I'll kill that for now.
Put a hashtag in there.
Yeah.
There.
Repository provides an extension for the PHP framework. Powerful, reliable. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Oh, I need to clean this up. Where are you hiding? Can you put the note in an announcement? There we go. Yeah, that's, did it actually correct things that I wanted it to? That's not what I'm looking for. What's the like call out?
That doesn't exist in Markdown.
Oh, it's not in GitHub Flavor Markdown?
No, that's not in Markdown, period.
All right, well.
That's extended stuff. So if you use MDX, you can create a component that does that, and then yeah.
Admonition is the word I was looking for, though.
Oh, admonition. Oh, there's a I think that there's a raw HTML thing for that.
Admonition GitHub Markdown. Add note or warning. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Does this actually exist?
Scroll up.
On GitHub, they're displayed with the. Oh, you can do it. So you just do this.
Okay.
So
it's a block quote. Okay, that's what I was going. I'm like, you could maybe do it in a block quote. So yeah, just do a block quote. See if what happens.
Okay. Well. It's not going to change. Should use production. Please check the information. Okay, sick. Okay, that's fine. Do we want this API stuff that's here?
Yeah, that's the API. That's
so,
literally the interface of how you interact with
it.
Okay.
I guess so. All right.
It's just easy, but that's fine. It's
yeah, fair enough. Easy. Okay, and then I'm gonna say, okay, that's fine. Okay, here is the final result. Remember this. And then I want to send it the code for the dev cycle one as well. Okay, don't analyze. I just need you to remember it.
Any other integrations for? Yeah, I guess so. It's
yeah, okay. Now here is another integration. It a readme. Okay, and I'll save this as a markdown file for you. Amazing. And I'll push these.
Make sure for the one for one signal, create a new branch first and push that branch.
Okay. Make sure this is the right place. README. Dev cycle, contact, delete that. Are we using the same language in both of these? I'm gonna close this because I don't need it open anymore. One signal. Did we say, yeah, I want to do like get one signal client. And then change it here, get one signal. One signal client. README. Make sure this is updated the right way too. Okay, that's fine. Awesome. Okay, that's good. And then what's that? Back over here. Dev cycle client, features, installation, usage, configuration, example. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, this looks fine to me. Stuff. Okay. Well, thank you, ChatGPT, for delivering what we needed. All right, so let me upload this. Updated this. White space. Sigma Leaf plugin. Create a branch. Create a fork.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Just create the fork. It should handle all of the stuff for you. You don't. Well, technically,
I guess I won't
you
need
don't,
to because
yeah.
it's a fork. Yeah.
I mean, you could if you want, but yeah.
Push to origin.
And it should ask you to do a PR. Maybe not. No, you would go to your project. Go to new PR. And yeah. I thought that we offered to do that on the desktop, but maybe not.
I've had it happen before, so I'm not sure. Especially because I clicked like I want to contribute to the main project.
Well, even this is a workflow that a lot of this is very difficult. Like most people wouldn't be able to just do this in their terminal, and for it to have been done, set the remote setup, and so that you can contribute is pretty cool. All right, well, I will review it at some point, and we'll get it merged, and then from there, we got to figure out what we're up to next.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and there's a couple things we got to do. So we actually have to add this to Composer as well. So we actually have to do that,
okay.
Which is another step, not for today.
Let's do that part of a action. We could use GitHub Actions to do it for free.
Oh, to actually add it to Composer?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. All right. I feel like this is going to be our next week project. So let's like polish these up next week, or next stream, and then we'll finalize some stuff, and then we'll figure out whatever our next you're choosing the next project because this one got away from me.
Well, I think that's it. We can use actions to put something in Composer. It doesn't have to be a big project. That's a project.
No, that's true. But I feel like this is it, right? We're basically giving people easier access to DevCycle and to OneSignal. That's really what we've done.
Yes. Now we will want to get this in Laravel at some point, I guess, because that's, I think, what you initially said.
I don't know. It's funny. Like now that we did it in Leaf, I've identified like all these DX things that like I would have loved to be there that were in Laravel. I don't know. Maybe in Java. Maybe we do it in Play.
Okay. That would. Yeah.
It depends. Let's see how I'll see how my Friday stream goes. Will be our my decision. If it goes really well, maybe. If it goes terribly, then I will never touch Java again or Scala.
Well, I'm not picky. It's, we'll do whatever. I'm just saying.
I know. So speaking of which, 2 weeks.
When
are you away?
I haven't bought my flight yet.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get one. Oh no, we're good. So I'm flying out hopefully on next Friday. Then I'm coming back the Sunday after that. So I'm not even going for a week. I'm only going for a couple of days. Assuming I can purchase a flight if there's any left.
So you're flying on the 2nd?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. And then you're back on the
Sunday, that
11th,
following. Yeah.
The 11th. Yeah, so do you want to do the 14th?
Yeah. If it's on the week, I'll be here. So
Okay.
so long, yeah. So I'm not really long travel. It's just going to Richmond.
Yeah, I'm going to rural Wisconsin next week.
That sounds more pleasant than.
Wisconsin Dells, water park capital of the United States.
Are you going to go at a water park and do stuff?
So the conference is at a water park.
Are you going to actually do conference things or just go and hang out at the water park,
No.
which I guess
So
is
here-
also a conference thing?
Yeah. So funny thing, I got accepted to the conference to speak. And then we did like a promo piece with the organizer of the conference, and he's like, I like your energy, for me and my co-presenter. And he's like, so we're doing a live streamed main stage for the 3 days of the conference. And he's like, do you want to like, can you help organize the main stage? So now I'm helping organize that. So I'm going to be doing my conference talk, and then I'm going to be running a game of like developer headbands, like a live stream thing. I'm going to do like a live coding session, and then I'm going to do another thing on the main stage. So
Sounds fun.
it'll be good. But then I am definitely going to go to the water park. 100, very much so. Yes, very much that after my talk.
Okay. Well,
But we just,
hopefully you have fun. I will see a tanner version of you, I assume, next time I see you.
it doesn't get any tanner than this. It just gets more sunburned.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Listen, what comes with the McLean name, what comes with the Scottish name is
The
a
clan.
castle. It's a with the clan name is a castle and no ability to tan. The melanin is spread just in these freckles, which keep no sunlight out of like causing me ridiculous amounts of burns.
All right. Well, wear sunscreen so that you don't come back purple. You know, we want
yeah,
you.
ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Amazing. Well, everybody that stuck around and hung out with us today, thank you all so much for being here as we kind of finished off a project that we've been working on for weeks and weeks and talked about some stuff, and hopefully you found some cool tools. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to do something new. We're gonna keep doing what we do. We're just gonna talk about code. We're gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna build some stuff. It's gonna be fun. All right, Will, I think that's it. Do we call it a day?
Yep. I can't. I have a meeting shortly after this. So, yes, we'll call it a stream. And
Call it
I
a
will
stream.
see you next time we stream, which sounds like in a couple
weeks.
weeks.
See you in a couple weeks. All right. Have a good one, Will. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Don't go in there. They're having the let's try to figure out what customers want meeting again. It's gotten a little weird.